next.
Anyway, I think somebody though in this series. Grant.
Side.
Who is it?
Of Ice and Chrome. He is the blue Protoss player. He is currently teamless. It's ShaDoWn. Did he play for that team KAP?
Does he currently play for them, or did he play for them?
Does he currently?
He currently does not. He is teamless. You are correct.
Good.
And his opponent in the bottom left-hand side in the red, his fellow French countryman in the red, representing Raise Your Edge Gaming. It is PtitDrogo.
PtitDrogo. Theo.
Oh, man.
French last name. I can't say
Frederi? I can't pronounce it. I'm going to get in trouble.
Yeah, we'll just say French last name.
They're going to murder me. Anyway, I will say Drogo and Raise Your Edge. Raise Your Edge has been doing so much here for the StarCraft team, sponsoring, obviously, PtitDrogo, Bly on Raise Your Edge, and Zest. That's also on Raise Your Edge. But they also put on a bunch of events. In fact, the Raise Your Edge StarCraft 2 Royal coming up very soon, which I'm excited about to catch.
And who's commentating that one, Grayson Olsen?
Well, it's me, but we may have some special guests, Grant.
Oh, we really, Creighton Olsen?
Grant, we may have some special guest casters, Grant. You might be surprised,
will we really,
Grant.
Creighton Olsen and Grant?
You might be surprised, Grant, at who the special caster, Grant, for that might be, Grant. Well, standard openings for both these guys. The reason we're filling a bit of time, guys, is there's not much to say here. Everybody doing everything you'd expect from a PvP that is certain to be very intense. We do have some proxy pylons here, and it looks like ShaDoWn is going to proxy his first Robo. Stargate?
It's Stargate.
Yeah, there's plenty of gas saved up. Stargate for ShaDoWn down here, and Drogo actually abandoning his forward pylon. And no tier 2 tech yet for Drogo.
So what's happened here is ShaDoWn has the best possible proxy location. It is millimeters from the main base. And it hasn't been scouted. Drogo faked that he was going to go for, a proxy. And that's where that pylon is hidden. It actually serves no purpose. When it's in that position, it's not closer than the main. And that's usually the way to tell. If it's not closer distance than the main, the only thing you'll ever see hidden maybe is a dark shrine, but that's not going to be in this case, because Drogo is playing for an expansion build. ShaDoWn, though, is certainly going to be very, very aggressive. It's the earliest possible Stargate. This is the earliest Oracle you can have in this location, and Drogo is not going to be prepared for it. He does have 2 Stalkers on the way. Where are they rallied to, Creighton Olsen?
Where are they rallied to? Oh, over to the other Stalker right now, down to the Natural. They're going to be out of position if they pop up in time. And as you said, this has not been spotted at all. I love this ShaDoWn bringing these Adepts as well. He's going to bring the Adepts in, try and draw these Stalkers out of position with the Adepts as that Oracle finishes up and zips straight in main base. It's working. The plan is working beautifully. Drogo has taken the bait, hook, line, and sinker, and there ain't nothing in the main.
Recall is immediately triggered here by Drogo. ShaDoWn's going to kill so many workers. We're going to see 6, maybe a 7th go down, though. He is just going to back out. 6 workers for this. This is a great start. You can see the worker count already. Second Oracle being made as well, and they contain so much utility going forward in the game. Things like Revelations, things like Stasis Wards in the mineral lines, or in terms of the defense or offense, they're massive. And this is very scary right now for Drogo, who may look okay, but he has taken a lot of damage in a matchup where he didn't want to be taking any this quickly.
Absolutely. You know, sometimes, Grant, you'll see a lesser player get this initial aggression successful, right? They're like, aha, I hit my Stargate, I got the Oracle, and I got the damage done, and I'm done. I'm just going to go into normal play behind this. I'm gonna skip my Natural. I'm going to try and crank out as many units as I can and just push, push, push. ShaDoWn not making that mistake. His Natural finishing up. He's still adding on probes, teching up, the Robo coming down, getting everything he needs to do for a much more sustainable game. I will say Drogo has the Forge down a little bit earlier, which means his upgrade advantage is going to be in. But other than that, ShaDoWn doing everything right behind this, taking his advantage, and then going into a normal game behind that. I love it. I love it.
So Drogo's playing for a mid to late game right now. His tech is very late. His upgrades will be very, very ahead. He's cutting corners. And that right now, if there was an Immortal push that just stomped across the map, ShaDoWn would probably win the game. But it's not coming because ShaDoWn is, of course, getting a lot of probes himself, getting a Forge himself. He is starting Immortals. But for now, he is just looking to play out from his lead. And Drogo is looking to find a lead in a different respect. And that will be, of course, in the upgrades. I like ShaDoWn getting the Forge when he did. Some Protoss players may think, you know, I probably don't need it just yet. I'm ahead. So he's never going to be that far behind. Probably, you know, a minute. A little bit left, 45 seconds if he starts the upgrade straight away.
if he starts the upgrades right away.
There
it is. Oh. Always a question. Of course, their Chrono has been expired here for Drogo on his +1. Chrono not used yet for ShaDoWn. I desperately think he desperately needs to get that +1 Chrono out. If you take a fight, an upgrade down, especially if it's a ground army fight, the Immortal count, even the Archon count, even upgrade advantage can be a huge deal in PvP. Almost more so than almost any other matchup, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely so. We're seeing the Twilight Council come down here for ShaDoWn, Templar Archives for Drogo, who's getting that very quickly. Of course, Drogo's Robo very, very late. We're looking at 2 Immortals right now and a quarter of a Robo here for Drogo. So ShaDoWn will have that Robo advantage. But I don't hate what Drogo is doing. He's playing this out a little bit longer, a little bit safer. I'd be surprised if he doesn't go for the quicker third. He's adding on a lot of gateways, actually, first of all. And we do have was that a double Immortal drop? I imagine so. Coming out here from ShaDoWn.
Yeah, he's got those 2 Immortals. I love he's sending the Oracles with it as well for the Revelations. Usually City players sending the Oracles out front just to make sure the drop doesn't get spotted, right? To clear any pesky patrolling zealots or anything. But he should still get in the main base. Drogo has maybe suspects this is on the way. He's got some units here to drive it away. Shouldn't get a lot of damage done with this drop. In fact, I'd be surprised if the Immortals really unloaded and did more than a modicum of damage here.
I don't know, there's only a couple of Stalkers and Sentries here, and 2 Immortals will take this fight all day. In fact, they are chewing through this as the very brave ShaDoWn, ShaDoWn here realised that he can take a good fight. And right now he's picking up a lead. He's dropped down a few Adepts as well. He's finally going to recall the Immortal to keep that alive, but he may take down an Archon, and if he'd have targeted it, he may have got the Archon. Meanwhile, look at what the Oracles have got done. 13 probes have just died.
Yeah, that was much more effective than I thought it was going to be. I thought almost certainly Drogo or ShaDoWn would be scared away by the Stalkers and Sentries here in the main base. Maybe the Sentries get some force fields out, be able to push this away. But those Immortals, ShaDoWn staying the course and really dropping a lot of damage. And as we have seen so many times in our PvPs in the stream, and I can't tell you how many times it's been, but almost every series we see at least one game where the actual army attack is secondary to the amount of economic damage being done in the background. And we saw as soon as the Immortals engaged, as soon as the Immortals engaged for ShaDoWn, his Oracles dropped into the natural mineral line, and that's what's going to open him up and allow him to put some pressure here on the third base now, is that economic advantage he's gained. As Drogo is now behind 36 workers to the almost 50 of ShaDoWn.
Beautiful stasis wards for the defense here, and now just take a look. Actually, you can see Drogo had the higher army supply, but when, 10 of your army supply is stuck in a stasis, unable to move, then you're going to be able to push this back. And that's exactly what we see ShaDoWn do. He's playing a very, very high class of StarCraft right now. Very impressed. He's now cleaning up those zealots from the stasis ward. Look at the supply difference, and it's mainly workers for now, but this looks so good for ShaDoWn.
Yeah, this is really, really cool. And not only that, but remember how ShaDoWn put his forge down slightly behind PtitDrogo. Drogo is now skipping that +2, and some zealots coming here to make a red sandwich, and Drogo knows it. Wow! Tapping out a bit prematurely, maybe a bit before than I thought he should have. But ShaDoWn in commanding control of that game, and ShaDoWn going to grab game number 1 against PtitDrogo. Wow. Wow. I think, Grant, your mic may be out just a little bit. As soon as you say something to fix it up, I'll look forward to that. But really exciting to see. That's the first, by the way, the very first game, the very first map at all that PtitDrogo has lost.
Yeah, that's incredible, Grayson.
He has been 4-0 until then, and finally ShaDoWn sending him his first loss of the day. Grant, you dropped offline, buddy. Are you okay?
Yeah, responding. So I'm just reopening that right now.
Okay, no problem. We'll get you back in here and get into our second game, which is going to be on Eternal Empire LE. Eternal Empire, a classic map. And then if we do go to a game 3, it'll be Death Aura. But yeah, wow. ShaDoWn doing a really nice job there. That drop doing so much more than I thought it was. And Grant calling that very well. Excellently done there by Grant.
Your checks in the best.
Thanks, mate. Anyway, we're in. I'm going to make sure that we are good to go. All right, rock and roll. Oh, come on, Drogo. What a meanie. What a meanie. Our admin asked if the casters were good to go, and PtitDrogo responds with, and I quote, "Who cares about casters?" I'm going to screenshot that and send it to all my caster friends. We're all going to be mean to Drogo. How could you?
I wouldn't do that. Drogo is a passionate man. I mean, we've all seen that the video of the desk smash where everything bounces. I wouldn't want to be at the other end of Drogo because I'm pretty sure he could murder me.
I'm pretty sure he can too, and with a sharpened baguette, nonetheless, because that's part of what you learn in French primary school. So we'll see which player with which sharpened baguette will win this time. As we see in the top right-hand corner, our blue French Protoss player representing Raise Your Edge Gaming. It is PtitDrogo.
And his opponent, currently teamless, he is 1-1 in the bracket, looking to take it to 2-1 as he leads this series. The French Protoss player, it's ShaDoWn.
Man, what a great PvP so far. You know, it's really hard, Grant, to look back at these games and to judge them on their own, right, in a vacuum. Because earlier today, we had the most epic PvP I've cast in at least 6 months, if not ever.
Yes.
And it's really difficult to compare games against each other, but that last game from ShaDoWn looked so strong. The drop from him coming out just very effectively and doing a ton of damage. And for some reason, Drogo just not committing to it all the way. And it really shows, as we've said several times now, how PvP stands on a knife's edge. And even a small mistake, a small under or over commitment in either way, a lack of map awareness, a flash of ignorance is enough to send you spiraling out of control. And we saw Drogo really spiral out of control there in the last half of the last game. We got to see if he can come back here in game 2.
Yeah, I mean, the best thing for ShaDoWn in that game was, of course, that his proxy Stargate was literally, it may as well have been in the base of Drogo. It was that close. It hit at the 3-minute 20 mark with an Oracle. That Oracle picked up a lot of kills, 5 or 6 immediately. And 5 or 6, that's a quarter of what his drone count was at that time, and was able to skyrocket ahead from that point. Now, when you're playing against a player like Drogo, even if you get ahead, you have to play perfectly to be able to close. Closing can be very difficult, and ShaDoWn did that amazingly in game 1. So I'm very impressed with him, certainly. And I'm interested to see what he does. This game, it does look like he's playing very safe. He's playing very normal. His pylon is at home, most importantly.
Yeah, Drogo did drop a pylon on the top side, but just like last game, the same similar pylon positioning, different map, but same idea. Luckily, this probe from ShaDoWn is going to spot it, I think, immediately. And we'll know that there's no proxy tech here as we look at what tier 2 tech these players are going to pop out. So we see double sentry coming out here from ShaDoWn. That's a lot of gas invested in those sentries. And on the other side of the map, Drogo going for double sentry as well. So I believe it was Stalker, Sentry for Drogo, and Adept. No, other way around, sorry. And Adept, Stalker, Sentry for Drogo.
Yeah, both players just looking to play for an expansion in this game. This one looks like it may go a little bit longer so far. We should see either a Twilight Council or a Robo out of both very shortly. This is more the choice. And as long as these two Adepts don't manage to get in, and this has been seen, we should see a battery go down immediately. Oh my god, you're playing with fire there, mate. Everything is completely fine.
Drogo all the way walled off, by the way, in his main. That's really interesting.
Units to defend.
And look at that, a Forge first from Drogo. Now that is very interesting. Grant, under what circumstances would a Protoss player go Forge before Twilight or Robo?
Yeah, so this is definitely Drogo wanting to play again for the mid and late game. He wants an upgrade advantage. He realizes that if he can get better upgrades, he can probably take better fights in the early mid game. You can see he will follow up with a Twilight Council, and it will be Blink from there. We are seeing a Twilight Council and a Forge go down for ShaDoWn. Major difference being right now, of course, that Drogo's upgrade will be a good minute ahead. A good 40 seconds ahead. And it's smart.
To power them up the entire time.
Yes.
A lot of sentries out for Drogo very early, which is
so
nice.
Safe.
Yeah, just being so cautious. Adepts in. Adepts might actually pick off a sentry or two here if they're careful. I think there's barely enough DPS from ShaDoWn to drive him away, and only one Adept going to make it out alive. But yeah, +1/+1 starting so close to each other. And Blink, this is interesting that the openings just a little bit different, right? The flavor of the openings a little bit different, but the overall dish that these Protoss players are cooking is going to be the exact same thing. Blink +1 Stalkers.
And this is what I want to see from ShaDoWn. I want to see if he can hang with the top dogs playing the same builds, because that's where you really get the sign of how good a player is. In game 1, he played phenomenally, but he did get a lead. We cannot deny the fact that he picked up a very early advantage and was able to snowball off of that. Drogo this time has not given him anything to work with. You can see the worker count, there's a 1 worker difference, maybe 1.5 if you're really picky. But that's going to be changing soon. But now both of them getting +1, both of them getting... Did he cancel Blink? He cancelled Blink. ShaDoWn cancelled Blink.
God, ShaDoWn canceled Blink. What on earth is he thinking here? Going for charge instead. Really interesting. He canceled that Blink after scouting his opponent's main base.
Yep.
Third base down for both players now. And, Blink versus charge. Robo going down there for ShaDoWn. Yeah, I like this. A charge lot immortal should be pretty good against Blink Stalker.
Yes.
Control?
Yeah, so this is very, very nice. And actually, I saw this spoke about in a PvT fashion on Rotty stream the other day of when is charge first best. You don't see it often in PvP either, but if you know your opponent is playing Blink, and he knows Drogo's playing Blink, because that's what, when you see the picture that Drogo has painted, you go, this is Blink Stalkers, there's these gateways, there's all these Stalkers on the map. In order to mix it up and get a lead, charge lots, if you get a good amount of them, just beat Blink Stalkers because they blink away and they charge them back down. The charge cooldown is shorter than that of the Blink one, and they're able to do well. Right now, though, this is a scary moment because there aren't Zealots out yet. And Drogo has an advantage. And Drogo, if he smells blood in the water, he will go for the throat.
This is a great initial push from Drogo, a good timing as well. Put some pressure on that third base, but really rotating around to the natural, picking off 1, 2, and 3 sentries. All the sentries going down for ShaDoWn, and that third base now has almost no shields left. He's going to keep bringing these Stalkers, and with Blink, these Stalkers, of course, can fight the Stalkers of ShaDoWn all day long. He can zone him out so easily, or get aggressive if he wants. Look at that blunking on top of ShaDoWn. Ouch.
Where are the Zealots? He's got Zealot legs. Make some Zealots. You don't need to just make Stalkers right now. Get some Zealots so you can take the fight a little bit better. ShaDoWn making some mistakes here, and now take a look at the army supplies.
Oh my god, this is going from weird to bad from ShaDoWn. An unusual opener, and now finally we see one little Zealot in. He's going to get on top of this poorly pathed Stalker, but again, the Blink Stalker is so aggressive. Finally, Archon's on the field for ShaDoWn. With the Archons, he may be able to push this back, but it's too late. The third base is down, and Drogo is in command of this game now.
Yeah, Drogo has a substantial lead. We can see here that now we're Blink down. If that third had stayed alive, if there were a few Zealots earlier, I think we'd seen a different meta. But now Drogo has Blink and Charge. So he's counteracted that advantage in upgrades his opponent has. Drogo started +2, whereas we're not going to see that, I don't imagine, for ShaDoWn anytime soon. Maybe he'll start it. Okay, there he goes. But that's just money he really doesn't have. Look at the economy. 2,200... maybe 2,300 minerals a minute to 1,800. Gas income, ShaDoWn has slightly more, but he's now trying to get a Dark Shine. He's trying to make Archons that he really can't afford. And I'm worried here for ShaDoWn. I'd expect to see a Blink in. There we go.
Yeah, with the War Prism, we can juggle these Blitz, the Stalkers, and juggle them right on top of the retreating army. ShaDoWn going to take massive losses here as he retreats from Drogo advancing. Drogo is going to recall into the main base. A nice little cute little drop from ShaDoWn. These charge lots trying to get some damage done, but the War Prism sniped immediately, and ShaDoWn a little too big for his britches there, just trying to work a little too hard. And Drogo just in complete control. What more is there to say, Grant?
Yeah, this is what happens when you activate the machine, because right now Drogo's playing just a level above. ShaDoWn's army is still going to be good eventually, but I just can't see Drogo giving him space to breathe. He's got his foot on the neck, and he's getting ready to stamp down now. You can see Drogo's got his army together.
That sounds like a professional wrestler's tagline. Like, I expect some big, muscly, oily, sweaty guy to be like, "This is what happens when you activate the machine." And then the crowd goes wild. And man, if we're not calling PtitDrogo the machine before too long, I'll be really disappointed in the StarCraft community.
He's just... I mean, I can't see any way. Look at the army supply, 80 to 36. But we cast this, we have to pretend it's close. There are Archons on the field creating else, and if ShaDoWn can have the perfect micro, he's certainly still in this game. He's definitely not dead.
We don't have to pretend like it's close. We can certainly say that the things that ShaDoWn needs to do to try and come back, get the Archons up front. He did see this attack coming. He had control of that Selnaga watchtower.
None of the Zealots in the fight. There we go. Now they go.
DPS attack. I mean, the Zealots up front for Drogo. And ShaDoWn's going to lose this third base again, depowering everything. The Archon's trapped behind charge slots. Probe's going down. This is looking real rough, Grant.
It doesn't get much more rough than that. Like the kind of people that try to mug you in the streets when you're just trying to buy a can of Monster.
Grant there, speaking from experience. Grant, serious talk. We are all happy that you are okay. We are glad you are safe. And we're sorry that terrible event happened to you. But you're still with us, and things are great.
Yeah, I just wanted my little can of Monster. Some guys decided that I stole their bike. Just as a heads up, I didn't steal no bikes. I haven't got
You're
a bike. I'm a good boy.
As you said,
please don't beat me up.
I'm a good boy. Please don't beat me up. Well, game number 3 is going to be a slugfest. Drogo looking on form there in game 2. And, you know, I ask you this question most series here, I think. But is it time for ShaDoWn to try something crazy again? Yes. He won game number 1 off the back of that proxy Stargate, which is a little unorthodox, a little unexpected. And, of course, Drogo showing us in game 2, if you try and go toe-to-toe, Drogo will smack you down. Does ShaDoWn need to do something unorthodox again, or should he just try and play it out long-term and try and win this game against the machine?
If I'm ShaDoWn right now, I'm definitely thinking, okay, I need to pick up an advantage, because not only was that game 2 very standard from both players, but ShaDoWn was just left behind. I do really like what he tried to do. I do think going charge against Blink was a smart play there, but he just got attacked at a time he didn't expect, and it killed him.
Got attacked at a time he didn't expect, and it killed him. If that is not the human experience
yeah.
until recently, I don't know what is. Well, let's introduce our players here. Tied up 1-1 going into game number 3, spawning in the bottom right-hand side in the blue. It is our French Protoss player representing... Wait, currently teamless. That's right, currently teamless. It is ShaDoWn.
And his opponent on the top left-hand side, representing Razor Edge Gaming. He is also a French Protoss player, winning game 2, looking convincing. It's PtitDrogo, the littlest of Drogos.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Because I've done my French lesson joke on this stream like twice now, so I'll save you all the trouble. But it's terrible. Gateways in the main bases here. Nice little pylon there down for ShaDoWn.
Faking a cannon rush. That's so cute.
Yeah, faking a cannon rush. A lot of probes pulled off the line. 3, 6 probes, 7, 8 probes pulled off the line, waiting to deal with this. That's actually really impressive. Drogo responding strongly to this fake cannon rush.
He didn't cancel. If ShaDoWn had cancelled, this would have been great, because he would have lost 25 minerals for easily hundreds at this point. Now, I still think this is good for ShaDoWn. Drogo is still possibly overreacting here, because behind the ShaDoWn is getting his second gateway, he's getting a cybernetic score. We can see everything's just that little bit further ahead for ShaDoWn.
Right.
And this was nice. But if he'd have cancelled the pylon, it would have been a lot better than nice.
Yeah, I agree completely. The pylon, oh my god, he's doing it again. What? And what's the play here? Is this going to force a zealot out of Drogo to try and pick it down?
No. Drogo knows at this point.
Yeah, you would definitely would have cannons down. There's the cancel. Yeah, but as you said, yeah, ShaDoWn Cyber Core already done. Drogo's still finishing up here. We see 2 adepts already on the way. Warp Gate research rather getting started, and it's going to be adept versus adept.
Yep, so ShaDoWn eking out probably a 3 or 4 second advantage in terms of things there. You can see the worker count is still the same, but he's just a little bit ahead. His Adept's a couple of seconds ahead. His Warp Gate a couple of seconds ahead. He is getting a battery at home. Okay, that's just a wall off to make sure he isn't scouted. That's fine. Oh my god, those 2 Adepts just popped out and blew that probe up.
Just the right time. Poor guy.
Oh, ShaDoWn, you are being so aggressive this game. I think he's looking for it. No, maybe not. Okay. Not looking for a proxy pylon here. He is going to be moving out with a couple of his Adepts. And we're going to see Adepts meet in the middle of the map, I think.
Yeah, maybe. I think the Adept on the south side. And we'll see who gets the... ooh, it looks like Drogo paying a little bit more attention. They're getting their initial shot.
No, attack move.
Goes off, and oh, man, he is going to sneak 1 kill there and maybe a second one. Shades away. Nice work there for Drogo. Getting a little bit of an advantage. But the natural already down for ShaDoWn here, and Drogo just planting his as we speak.
Adept is actually going to get into the main here. Oh, okay, cancelled. I really thought ShaDoWn might commit to that, but with the battery coming up with only 1 Adept, he wouldn't have got many kills, if any. We do see the wall here is pretty good. We're going to see a bit of a recall just to make sure that these 2 Adepts don't eventually break in and actually end the game. ShaDoWn's doing okay so far, I'd say. Losing the Adept was a mistake. He really, if he was attack moving, he actually would have got the first hit, which was on the high ground. And he didn't get that opportunity to do so. But Drogo's doing fine as well. Drogo's got his Twilight Council. He's moving up in tech. We do see a Robo down for ShaDoWn. Both players have their Nexi. The game's pretty even at this point. You can see 1 extra unit here for Drogo because he didn't lose that 1 Adept. But the worker count dead even.
Yeah, worker count dead even. Army supply barely in favor of Drogo. This is looking like an even game so far. Twilight Council versus Robo. Whose opener do you like more here?
It's really 6 of one, half a dozen of another. Drogo is going for Glaives. Okay, so now that we've seen that, I like Drogo's opening more, because Glaives are very good against Immortals. What I would like to see right now, if I am ShaDoWn, is maybe a Prism or something, because he has seen that this is going on. He's seen the Twilight. He knows it's upgrading. It does look like Blink, though. It looks a lot like Blink. And I'm very curious whether we're going to see Immortal production begin, or something more akin to Observers and... Oh my god.
A lot of Adepts here from Drogo trying to sneak into the main base of ShaDoWn, though. Look at this. They're going to get a kill on that. Oh, and a nice force field there for ShaDoWn.
No, it's not Clayton, because he force fielded himself out. And
oh
what that
my
means
God,
is
he has
the Shades get in.
Shade in through the force field. Oh my goodness gracious.
No.
Sentry will go down, but the shield battery overcharge went down on the natural, not on the main. A couple more probes going to get picked off here. I thought Drogo was doing a good job on the PtitDrogo was, pardon me, goodness gracious. I thought ShaDoWn was doing a good job on the other side here, getting a couple kills with his Adepts, but this is looking so much better now for Drogo.
Yeah, not only that, that was before Glaives finished. This is now Drogo will be feeling so good. 6 workers before his tech kicks in is absolutely incredible. You really don't expect that. That was just a very, very unfortunate mistake there, because the battery went down, the force field went up, but guess what goes through force fields? It's these bad boys. We may see this complete. Yeah, he's going to take down the sentries. This is really, really nice now, because Glaives has finished, and what that means is so many workers will die. He's completely ignoring the stalkers here. Drogo knows that he can get as many work, if he can get more worker kills, he'll be in a great spot. He is going to save at least one of these Adepts as well. He has his Glaive Adepts more and more being warped in. How many gates is he currently at? It's only 2 gates. This isn't even that aggressive here from Drogo, who is up 3 workers. I'm feeling good.
Yeah, and he's adding on more gates now as that forward warp gate is finished. Adepts shading back in here. He is getting so many probe kills. The problem is, though, with Glaive Adepts, you really want to get up to... Oh my god, he's getting to the main. The problem with Glaive Adepts is you really want to get up to critical mass, right? You got to get like 5, 6, 7 Glaive Adepts to really cause a bunch of damage and spread them out over the map. And of course, with the counter pressure here, Adepts in the natural getting a couple kills of Drogo as well. So ShaDoWn evening up the odds a little bit and not losing as many Adepts. Look at that. 13 Adepts have gone down to the only 4 of ShaDoWn. The worker count still fairly even. I think this game is a lot closer than it may seem, Grant.
Yeah, things were going good for Drogo there. He got up into the main with 2 Adepts, but actually they were targeting different targets. And he wasted 4 shots that would have been 4 guaranteed kills because there was a battery. If they were all targeting the same thing, oh my god, ShaDoWn, he's just making stuff happen. Look at the main right now. He's forced to recall, he's going to get another 4 or 5. This is so good here for the blue Protoss player. He's just beat Drogo at his own game.
Yeah, it's a much lower investment from ShaDoWn setting those 2 Adepts in over and over again and still getting a good number of kills. The proportion of kills he's getting per Adept is so much healthier. Dropping the gateway here, which is going to get a little more health before it gets picked down. Adept into the main here, but the Stalker should be able to follow it. And with a probe pull, I'm not sure how much damage Drogo is really going to do here. He's going to waste a lot of time chasing these probes ring around the Rosie.
Oh, he actually cancelled the shade up in the main as well towards the natural. And with a super battery going down, probes will certainly die here. More and more will die. You can see the worker count is dead even, with Drogo taking a very, very slight lead. But he's losing a lot of Adepts here, actually. Oh, I don't know. There's still so many left over. Army supply so heavily in Drogo's favour. As round 2 reinforcements come in, the Beta Squadron arrives, and now there's not enough Stalkers. There's no rule. There's nothing here. Probes are going to have to fight. And that is exactly what we may well see. We see the Adepts even shading into a very intelligent position. They're going to take down the battery. There's nothing left. Drogo makes it happen. Drogo breaks him down, and Drogo takes a series